Hello, everybody. I'm Mario Linares. I'm broadcasting from Rio de Janeiro, and I've got on the other side of the broadcast Dr. Florian Kongoli, directly from the Intercontinental Geneva, where he's been in Switzerland for the past 3 days, where he went to attend and give a lecture at the United Nations International Year of the Glass opening ceremony. Good morning, Dr. Florian. How are you?
Good morning, Mario.
Yes, that was a little bit. You're going back to Montreal today, right?
Yeah, it's nine in the morning, and
Uh-huh.
there should be around. What was the time in Rio?
5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock in the
5:15.
morning. Good. Okay.
Yes.
I guess it's
Beautiful.
7 o'clock in. It is
3 o'clock in
three
the
o'clock
morning
in
in Montreal.
Montreal. In Europe. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm
Well,
the
this
only
is
one who's got hot weather here because I've heard it's a little chilly there. What's the
here.
temperature
It's
in Geneva?
-1 this morning.
-1.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was.
So
It
it
was
dropped from
14,
12 the day before yesterday to
14,
-1 today.
14. Exactly.
It was almost summer in Geneva. 14 for February in Geneva.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
summertime.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yes,
was.
and you're leaving the cold weather behind. I hope you come to Rio to get it like the 40s. But let's talk a little bit about where you are now. You're at one of the finest hotels in the world. You are
Well,
just
I'm
for
in
people just to locate
Intercontinental
people.
Geneva, where
Yeah,
it's a history, it's a historical modern hotel where all all the famous personalities in politics have stayed here. You name it, presidents, prime ministers, and uh, what is interesting here, what is interesting here is that when Hillary Clinton became Secretary of State. She met at this hotel with Foreign Minister of Russia, Lavrov, and
uh-huh.
the famous restart. You remember the button, the red button, just restart.
Yes, I do. Yes, it
No,
didn't
it
work
is
quite well, right?
no. It has actually since the time we don't see any restart. Actually, we are in the brink of war today.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, at this hotel, you have had all personalities. When you are an independent country, you are choice of meeting of various leaders in the world, from the
Uh-huh.
most democratic countries like U.S. to the worst human rights records dictators. They have all been here in this hotel, and
I
this is
see.
what's interesting. It's it's a choice of all famous politicians.
While you're speaking, I've shown some pictures of the hotel with some personalities that have stayed there for what we've shown presidents, events like
Yeah,
peace talkings and all that. And this is what Switzerland is. Switzerland has been famous for centuries, right? Since the 13th
yeah,
century, it's always been
because
neutral.
neutral, no membership in NATO, no membership in European Union, no alliances. Actually, my Swiss friends always tell me, joking, that Europe is the ocean surrounding us.
Yeah,
That's
that's quite right. And
that's the expression.
it's gone through dozens of wars throughout history without getting an official position. It's been totally neutral
Totally
since
neutral, and
its.
that's why all all meetings between superpowers, when at the worst point of their relationship, where do they meet? In Geneva, in International Continental Hotel, right here.
I see.
There are great meeting rooms. There are modern ones, and basically, what it is the attraction? The attraction is being neutral. So it's a neutral land. When you are in a disagreement or in the brink of war, where do you meet? You don't go. Politically is wrong to go to have a meeting for Russians to go United States, or United States to go to Russia to meet, because is diplomatic, yeah, there are diplomatic meanings on all movements
Yes,
that can be interpreted different ways. So the best
I
way is to
see.
meet in neutral place. And where is the neutral place? One of them, the most famous one, is Geneva. And the best hotel for them has been here. This has
Hmm.
been hotels of famous personalities from the worst dictators to the leaders of the free world. So the hotel is place of choice of all this. But
Hmm.
what we are doing here, you see, this is the first time that scientists are at the same hotel where politicians come. So we are getting closer, even at this direction. So
I see.
a hotel is very close to the United Nations, Geneva,
Hmm.
Palace of Nation, Palace des Nations. So it's about a 10 minutes walk if you want to walk. So this is another attraction of this. It's about 15 minutes drive, 10 minutes drive from the center of Geneva. So
Uh-huh.
and it's surrounded by numerous embassies. You have all the embassies. Well, actually, not. I have to correct myself. It's not embassies. They are permanent representatives, because in the
I
United
see.
Nations we don't have ambassadors. We
Uh-huh.
have the so-called permanent representatives. So this
Very
is
good.
but this time they are all the scientists are here. So this is becoming for the first time the hotel for scientists.
Yeah, we've mentioned yesterday that during a broadcast from the Human Rights Alliance room, yes, but
Yes.
magnificent
Mhm.
ceiling that, as you had this idea and told us, you had this perception. It looks like the bottom of the sea. Yes,
Yeah.
whoever,
The,
if you haven't watched this broadcast, you can. It's still there on YouTube and social medias. You can just go there and watch it because it's worth it. One of the most beautiful rooms I've ever seen. But that room, uh, you said it's around 170 places or 190. I don't remember. Between
no, no, no,
170 and 200. Yes,
no, 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 no.
and
The capacity, you mean the capacity?
yeah, the capacity.
No, the capacity is about 750 persons.
Oh, 750 people. Yes. Oh,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
because of pandemic, they reduced it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I
Yeah, they
mixed up. I'm
reduced
sorry.
it. They put tapes in order to have distance between persons.
I see.
But it's one of the biggest, and is remanaged.
I see.
Remanaged. You can design it in a different way. You can move the chairs around, but normally it is around.
Yeah, but I believe that these events are related to the United Nations. The big events that are not related to the United Nations are held in this hotel where you are, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes. Even when we
Well,
show the pictures here.
there are meeting rooms here. But normally the hotel serves as a official hotel of the United Nations Geneva section. So most
Oh,
of the people
interesting.
come there because it's very close to the United Nations. And it's very convenient, and it is particular. It is and very expensive, by the way,
Yeah, I've
just
heard
because of
that.
just because of the name. Sure, the services, etc., is excellent, and but this is hotel of famous political personalities.
Hmm. I see. Let's talk a little bit about. Well, the name of the program is The Art of Science. So let's talk a little bit about science and specifically about what brought you to Geneva. Yes.
Yeah.
We had
Well,
some of the
this is
greatest scientists in the world. We had some of the greatest
uh,
scientists in the world there.
it was the open
And
ceremony of the United Nations Year of Glass.
I see.
Uh, in a break to tradition, the United Nations voted to dedicate 1 year to glass because it's a sustainable material, and they voted for this concept, and they offered the premises of United Nations in Geneva to have the opening ceremony that we have been there for 2 days, and then they also um, offered suggested the hotel near the United Nations. we had some ambassadors at the opening ceremony that came present, which is a little bit rare. You don't ambassadors normally do not be to be close to science, because they are kind of afraid, afraid they are a little bit ignorant about science, so they cannot really feel comfortable. Diplomats like to stay with diplomats because they feel home, they like a family. But getting outside the field, they don't feel so comfortable. This is general. We cannot generalize, but most of the. No, we had some ambassadors in the opening ceremony that they were present. Surely they gave a speech, a normal speech without PowerPoints for sure, because they are not used with PowerPoints. But it's good enough. This is a good advancement in recognition of the science role in society and in sustainability. By the way, sustainability was one of the factors, one of the main themes of the meeting, that one of the main sections of the opening ceremony, where I had the opening presentation.
Very good, very good. But let's talking about sustainability. By the end of the year, late November, beginning of December, we're going to have the largest sustainability in industrial processes summit in the world. It's SIPS. Yes, you're going to have over 600 scientists from 80 countries talking about. I'm not going to say real sustainability, because every action we take can be sustainable. But I mean, what really matters in terms of generating waste, of deciding not to give up progress in name of environment. We both can coexist, as you said. Tell us a little bit about SIPS.
Well, SIPS is end of November, 27th of November, 1st of December, in Phuket, Thailand, on the beach. It's a five-star hotel on the beach, which we have very good deals. We are good at that, and then we have the payment is about for 3-star hotel. So while here in this hotel you pay normally the price at this hotel in Geneva, it's about 400 to 50 euros per night. I mean Swiss francs per night, but the relation is 1-to-1. The quality of the hotel we are doing it in Phuket, Thailand, is the same category, but we have very good deals just for SIPS attendees, and the price per night there is about 120 euros. So this is our deal. This is our gift to scientists and engineers, to bring them at the highest top hotels in the world for a usual normal price of about 100 euros per night. Compare there the same type of categories, and there you have the beach and you have everything. 5-star hotel, we have assured a very low price of $100, 100 euros per night, and here is about 500 euros per night.
I see.
This is our gift to scientific community and engineering. The best places for them, in order people are attracted to science, since there are many misconceptions around the world. We see movie stars going in famous hotels, in famous resorts, and they create the idea that it's easy to be a movie star and you have a lot of privileges. But that's not true. To be a known movie star, you have to work a lot. But the perception is wrong.
I see.
And the perception is the scientist and engineer just are working horses and then do not enjoy life, which in certain cases is true. Actually, in the majority of cases, it's true, because they just satisfy themselves with the minimum. They are kind of minimalist. So, but this is, in one point of view, is good, but then on the other point of view is bad, because the young generation, they create a bad perception to the young generation. So this is we are trying to fight, and we have, as you see, we are achieving successes one after the other, but still a lot of work to be done in front of us. So it's 27th of November to 1st of December. We have 600 presentations from 80 countries around the world. We have a record of 9 Nobel laureates present, coming in person, not by Zoom. We have two previous presidents of American Chemical Society, 2020 president and the 2016 president will be present. We have the current vice president of European Research Council coming, and we have a couple of university professors. The Nanyang University of Technology in Singapore, Professor Subra Suresh is the president of that university. He used to be the director of National Science Foundation for about 5 years in the United States. He will be coming also, when I'm saying coming, not through Zoom, in person. So it will be an excellent conference, scientific, reaching sustainability through science and technology. This is the main point. Science has the biggest effect, and there we are concentrated.
Yeah, this is perfect. One of the things that I had the opportunity of attending CIPS 2018 that was held here in Rio de Janeiro. And it was the first time I met a Nobel Prize winner. And at that time, it were 7 Nobel Prize winners. Yes, and I think, I'm sure it's on if you go around YouTube, FLOGEN channel, yes. You're going to see that I had the honor to be the first reporter to interview a Nobel Prize winner wearing his swimming trunks by the swimming pool. Yes,
I remember that.
And Dr. Kurt Vruchtisch, I think that's how you pronounce the name.
Udrich.
Yeah, my German's terrible, so I'm very sorry to Dr.
Well,
Kurt.
Swiss.
Yes.
By the way, he's Swiss.
He's Swiss, yes.
Yes.
But he's from Zurich, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's from the German part of Switzerland.
Yeah, they're close. Switzerland is a small country, but they're just,
yeah.
You can drive there.
Great. But that reminded me that CIPS is usually an event that you're going to bump into Nobel Prize winners like you would like nowhere in the world, right?
Yeah,
no other, because you say 9
home.
People don't have idea of how much that is. I mean, no other event in the world gathers so many scientists, top scientists, and Nobel Prize winners.
It's a multidisciplinary. When we say sustainability through science and technology, it's not just blah, blah, blah. Sustainability in the concept of many people is just a political concept. No, for us, you can achieve it primarily, not mainly, primarily through science and technology, or through the results of science and technology. So this being is a unique conference in the world. It's multidisciplinary. We have about 50 different specialized symposia, having each of them having a specific field, the real science, deep science, but being in the same roof and interacting with other sciences. This is the jewel of this conference, because it gives you the synergy between sciences, between different fields of science. And my concept that I have developed is that there are no borders between fields of science. Borders are created by humans, because sometimes even because of ignorance. But science is one. There is no difference. There are differences, sure, but there are meeting points between organic, inorganic, medicine, science, nanomaterials, you name it. Glass, for example, is used in health, extensively used in health industry applications. So there is no restrictions. There are no frontiers, borders between field of science, and that's what CIPS achieves. Synergy between field of science. People look what's going on in other field of science and how they can cooperate, because at the end of the day, human being is you cannot say it's a chemical, it's physical, it is nanomaterial, it is material. Human beings are combination of all science in itself. So for astronaut, for example, to send an astronaut in the space station, you have to deal with all fields of science, from health to nanomaterials to physics to chemistry, you name it, everything is there. And that's CIPS.
Yeah,
All
and there
fields
is
are
one
there.
thing. There's something else to Dr. Florian. Not only science and maybe the exact sciences are involved into technology, but you have also other aspects that can be called humanities, for example. Like, for example, you have legal aspects to science, patents,
Sure,
and things like this.
sure,
You
sure.
discuss this at SIPS too, right? They,
We have a specific symposium dedicated to lawyers from Washington, D.C.
mhm.
His name is Nolan. He is a famous lawyer in patents and international law. And last year, I mean, in not last year, in Cyprus, we had another symposium dedicated to famous lawyers from California, McNeil. This time is a lawyer from Washington D.C. The entire legal
Uh-huh.
symposium is dedicated to him. The symposium bears his name. So the all fields of laws that he has worked during his life will be represented there, but not as a isolated island, because they are
Mhm.
surrounded by scientists. So imagine people going around and see, let's follow the legal sessions because they are interested. They scientists apply for patents. They need to know the laws. They need to know the framework. But on the other side, lawyers from that symposium are interesting to go in all other scientific symposiums that are in the same roof, the same part of SIPS, because lawyers do not live in an isolated island. Lawyer serves to other professions. So for
Exactly.
lawyers, so this is a unique combination and unique synergy is in the interest of everyone.
Well, I would like to give you a suggestion before we finish this broadcast because you have a plane to catch. Since you involve so many things, you should involve also a very important topic for scientists. It should involve something like uh, communication also, because most of the scientific findings you have, you taught me this, and I was very surprised. More than 80% of all scientific
More,
findings
more,
do not, more than
90%,
that,
more.
90%, sorry, they never leave academia, right? They stay in
Yeah,
academia, so it doesn't fulfill the mission of science, that is serve humanity, right?
yeah. Unfortunately, that is the purpose of SIP also. It's when we say sustainability, you have to apply. Sure, you can apply immediately or you can apply in 5 years, 10 years, but the focus is the link between theory and application. And being scientists and engineers, and we have not only scientists, by the way, because we have scientists, CEOs, managers, directors of big companies, all there also. So the
Uh-huh.
scientific presentation attract the attention of the industry. So this is a way to establish joint project and apply the fields of science. I mean, the development of science in make them applicable. This is what you are saying. 1990, actually 95% of papers stays in academia. They just being published, but nobody follows to apply them. This is the purpose
I
of
see.
SIPS, to bridge that gap and bring them to reality. And then communication is another story, because most of the scientists do not lack the ability to properly communicate their results. So this is a good suggestion. We have discussed about this, together, and we sure will do something in this direction.
Very good. Well, as I said, you have a plane to catch, so we would like to thank
Yes,
you for
sure.
this participation and for the opportunity of having such a nice talk about science. And your final considerations from Geneva. You're going back to
Well,
Montreal, and you're going to talk more when you get to Montreal for sure.
yeah. Well, it was a very nice day. The scientific conference at the heart of the biggest room of the United Nations in Geneva. So the United Nations is again a place for. It's not again. It's for the first time a place for scientists, and the hotel that has been famous, welcoming famous political personalities, almost all colors of presidents and prime ministers or dictators or presidents of free countries in the world. This is the hotel for science and engineers also. So that's why I want to say a goodbye from the hotel, that now is not anymore only for politicians, known only for politicians, but also for scientists. So with this, I think we should, we should. That's the difference that we see in Geneva during this visit.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Florian. Just before I say goodbye, I would just like to make a remarkable what you've said. It might be the first time for the United Nations to bring up scientists together to a five-star hotel and make a big event and discuss serial aspects with treating scientists really stars like FLOGEN Star Outreach. You give star power to scientists, right? This is the objective. And I want to congratulate you because you're the first person, the first entrepreneur in the world to organize an event to treat scientists like they deserve. So, in the name of...
It's not a question of the treatment. It's a question of investment for young generation also. It's not in itself.
I see.
It reflects...
This is very important because if you don't have if you don't have those teenagers being interested in science and going to college, university to start developing, the future generations are going to suffer a lot. So thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you also, Mario. So we'll be in touch when I'll be in North America again.
Very good. So this is it, everybody. I'm Mario Linares. I'm saying goodbye from Rio de Janeiro and Dr. Florian from Geneva. See you later. Bye-bye.